I've just got back from my biggest exhibition of the year, and I thought I'd just explain to you why I love this exhibition and why it's one of my favourite things to do, and I just look forward to this exhibition every single year. But before I get onto that, we're going to need to rewind to the start of the week. We have arrived at the exhibition centre, also known as Goredale Garden Centre, and we're going to head in now. It doesn't look much at the moment, but we actually arrive a day early to help set up the exhibition, which involves a fair bit of lifting some boards and a fair bit of drilling in some screws to try and get everything perfect, ready for the opening night. We've just got back to our room, and oh my god, what a day it's been. So we set off from the house at about 11 o'clock to get here for about 12:15, and then we started setting up, but we started setting Amber's stuff up, and we'd set all my stuff up and hung everything the day before, but the light wasn't very good on Amber's side of the wall. So we then needed to take down all of my paintings, put my paintings where Amber's was supposed to go, and then that took about an hour and a half, taking mine down and putting them back up. And then it took about another hour and a half, if not 2 hours, to take Amber's and put them up where my wall was supposed to be, which was in better light, which was time consuming, and it was hot and it was sweaty, and we were shattered after doing that. And then we drove to the hotel. We got to the hotel, we stepped inside, and it turns out we'd booked the wrong hotel. So we had to drive about 5.5 miles, which isn't the end of the world, but 5.5 miles to another hotel, where we've actually stayed at, which was, I mean, it's lovely, it's a lovely hotel, but a bit of a faff. We're now a little bit further away from the exhibition than what we originally planned and had hoped, but again, not the end of the world. Oh, and before that, do you know how we prepared all of those pricing cards for the exhibition that were all done in the black border? Well, we got told we couldn't have the black border, so I then had to spend an hour cutting all the black borders off of all of those cards before we could stick them up. So it's just been a nightmare of a day, but hopefully the preview goes well tonight. We're in a bit of a rush though, because we've only got about 40 minutes until we need to be there again. Amber's just getting ready at the minute with a very quick rush, and she's just sort of shooing me along now, so I'm going to tie this up really quickly, and I'm going to jump in the shower, and then we're going to get ready for the preview. Ooh, who's that handsome fella over there? Oh, it's me! Amber's looking pretty good too. There she is. The famous red dress. The red dress of 1,000 sails. That's what we call this one. Right, we better get a move on. The preview evening absolutely flew by. This was a private opening where the artists could have invited buyers who got to see a sneak peek of the exhibition before it was open to the general public. It was an absolutely fantastic evening with lots of sales and plenty of wine. It's the end of day one, and as usual, there are red dots, red dots, red dots, red dots, and a happy Amber. And then no red dots on my side. But fingers crossed we get some over the rest of the weekend. It's the morning of the first official day of the exhibition. We've just had breakfast and we're just getting ready to go out and go back to the exhibition. Yesterday was really good, so that was the preview evening. Amber ended up selling 4 pieces, I think it was. I didn't sell anything, but I had a lot of attention with the big deer painting and the little blue jay painting as well, which I was surprised at, those two being the sort of standout ones of the show so far. It's going to get a lot busier over the next 3 days, so fingers crossed we get a couple of sales. I'm not holding out hope for the big deer painting because it is massive, but it'd be nice if someone's got a big wall space, they can take it home so I don't have to put it back in the car. But yeah, we're going to head down there. I'm going to try and film as well. I couldn't film yesterday. We actually got there an hour early, and I was going to film all of the exhibition and give a little bit of a tour, but there was already people there an hour early looking around, so I didn't want to disturb people. So I'm going to try and get there a little bit early this morning and try and do a little bit of a quick video tour of the exhibition. And obviously here we have Amber's work in my spot. I'm not holding any grudges, I promise. Hi, Amber. And then here we have Nicola's work, who is an absolutely fantastic coloured pencil artist and a just all-round lovely person. You wouldn't actually think that these were coloured pencil because her technique makes it look a lot like watercolour, which is absolutely amazing. Then Stella Mays, who is like, the first time I met her, I was probably like fangirling over her work because I absolutely love her style and her sense of movement and composition. Then we've got my paintings, so we don't need to talk about these. Little Blue Jay, that's had quite a bit of attention really. And then a couple of these smaller pieces, I actually did these as Patreon tutorials. So the blue jay, the lemur, the swan, the gorilla, and then the small deer on the right. They're all Patreon tutorials on the Studio Wildlife Patreon. So if you want to go and check that out, feel free. I'll leave a link in the description. My latest wildebeest painting, which I did a vlog for, you might have seen. A zebra piece, that's actually had quite a fair bit of attention too. And then a fox, my tiger, and then a couple of elephants and deer again. I was really into the deer this year because I was using lots of different paintings of deer for studies for that big piece. And then a couple of acrylic paintings around the corner that I was experimenting with a little bit of texture and trying to create a little bit more of a painterly look to the piece. Around the side of the exhibition, you have a lot of exhibitors who don't actually come to the exhibition. They just hang their work and it's on display for people to purchase if they want to, but they're not actually physically exhibiting like myself and Amber and about 30 other artists were doing. I'll just keep walking around the exhibition and you can have a look at some of the amazing and like absolutely incredible artwork that was on display this year. It is probably the highest standard of wildlife art that there has been at Goredale this year, or the exhibition of wildlife art. It has been absolutely fantastic, and honestly it's making me think I need to come back and get stuck into some paintings a bit more because the standard was just absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love the composition of this leopard. It's such a great painting. They're all absolutely fantastic. It was actually quite intimidating, some of the pieces as well. It wasn't just all inspiring. It made me think, right, I really need to kick myself into gear. Love the glow in the eyes on that tiger. Again, the videos don't do it justice. Like, you cannot really appreciate a piece of work unless you see it in person. This leopard by Jess Pritchard was absolutely fantastic. She's only just started acrylic painting as well, so for one of her first pieces, it's unbelievable. If you didn't get a chance to see it this year or you didn't know about it, it should be on around a similar time next year with completely brand new sets of work from every artist. It's not just paintings either, it's sculptures, glasswork, things like that as well. So come and check it out because there's nothing quite like seeing this work in person. And I know there's sort of a little bit of a lack of representation of wildlife art here in the UK. I know in the US, wildlife art is actually a really, really big niche in the art world, and there's a lot of collectors of wildlife art. But here in the UK, I don't know, the mainstream galleries don't really seem to have wildlife art on display as much, and I don't know why that is. But if you love wildlife art and you'd like to see more wildlife art in person, then this is one of the perfect places to come and visit. Look at those pastel pieces by Angela May Smith. They are absolutely fantastic. They are pencil drawings, can you believe that? But every artist that goes here is so friendly and so nice. You get chatting with everyone, you learn new techniques, you learn about their stories and their experiences, and it's just an all-round fantastic exhibition to be part of. A lot of the artists here are now my friends. We love hanging out together, we love going for meals together at these exhibitions, and it is one of my absolute favourite exhibitions of the year. Even if I don't end up selling much, or selling at all, just being there and being part of it is absolutely fantastic, and one of the reasons why I love doing this. Look at those chimps, how amazing are those? And the gold leaf on these pieces were fantastic. Then David Skidmore created these 3D pieces, Curvature. Fantastic, and a really cool idea. They've just really popped off the surface of that canvas and created a really cool effect. But look at just how diverse the amount of wildlife art is. It's absolutely fantastic to be part of. Michael Domain, an amazing wildlife artist. Jean Pritchard, another amazing wildlife artist. No relation to Jess, who I mentioned earlier. But some absolutely phenomenal paintings, drawings, sculptures. It was just a fantastic exhibition. And I love the work of Robert Cook. The amount of detail he gets in his paintings. Like, look at them, they look like photographs, but when you get up to them, they're full of soft, blurry edges that you can only achieve with painting. It's not all about the paintings, though. It is about just having fun with a load of like-minded individuals, and it is absolutely great. We all go for meals, we all play games. Like, it is a load of fun. Say hello to YouTube, Sarah.
Anyone said anything, I beat down at table tennis. Okay?
You definitely did not. It's day 2 of the exhibition, and I sold a piece last night. I mean, you can't see it, but it was the little blue jay that was on there. That sold like right at the end of the night. It closed about 6 o'clock, and that sold about 10 to 6, which was really nice because I'd not sold anything yet. And then overnight, I also sold this one through the online gallery, which was really nice. It was a nice surprise waking up in the morning and that being sold on the website, which was fantastic. And then, as usual, Amber's just got red dots, red dot, red dots, red dots, red dots, red dots everywhere. She's having a cracking exhibition, and hopefully, we've still got 2 days left. Hopefully we'll sell a few more. Oh, it has been a very long day today. There's been some ups and downs. The painting that had sold in the online gallery, the buyer confused the British pound with the US dollar price and thought it was cheaper than it actually was, which wasn't good, so that sale actually ended up falling through. Amber didn't sell any more today, she sold 6. She had a sale fall through as well. There was one woman who came over, was really, really interested in Amber's Jaguar painting, went and took it to the sales desk, and when they said the price, she was like, oh, because the price was like in the 2000s and she misread the 2 and thought it was in the 1000s and came back looking a little bit sad and she couldn't afford it, which was a little bit disheartening, but it was okay. We've still got one more day, and Sunday is usually the busiest day, but they are very, very long days. We've just got back from a meal with a group of the artists, and it's always fun to meet the other artists and see them, talk to them, and vent about everything with them because everyone's in the same boat. It's always a really, really fun weekend. Like, regardless of the sales, meeting and talking with all the other artists is one of the highlights of my year. But a couple more sales would be nice. So fingers crossed tomorrow, a few more people come in, and there's loads of people. There's so many people that come in, but a few more people with the wall space and the willingness to buy some of the artwork. So fingers crossed that happens. It's been a long day today, and I am so ready for bed. So I'll see you in the morning. Sold my big zebra painting. Obviously I can't show you it, but I got it sold, which is great. Now to just finish up the exhibition. It's the day after the exhibition. We packed everything up last night. I was going to film when we got home, but I was just shattered. It was very, very long days, even though you just sort of like sat around doing not really very much, just chatting to people. It still takes it out of you. It was like 9 till 6 for 3 days of just standing there. It was a fantastic exhibition. I sold pieces, Amber sold pieces, and we did really well out of it. There's still some of the pieces available if you do want to check them out. I am going to put them on my website, so you can go check them out at studiowildlife.com. If you are interested in buying them, I can ship overseas, no problem. So if you are from outside of the UK, don't worry about that. I think one of the things that is a takeaway from this year's exhibition is there were a lot of people buying smaller pieces rather than the bigger pieces. So I think that's just got something to do with the financial climate here in the UK. But then last year it seemed to be people buying bigger pieces rather than smaller pieces. So you can't actually ever predict what's going to happen at these exhibitions. And it was just a fantastic weekend. We had loads of fun talking to people coming visiting and loads of fun with the artists as well. It was absolutely fantastic. I think pretty much every artist that was there managed to sell at least one piece, which was fantastic. So it seems like the sales were spread around everyone, and that is always good because it's always a little bit sad when someone's not selling any work, because I feel like we're all like very like-minded individuals. It's not a very sort of competitive exhibition. Everyone's there to support everyone else, which is absolutely fantastic. I've been to some exhibitions where the exhibitors can be a little bit sort of, oh, if they're buying from them, they're not buying from me, so they try and like push people away from all the stands and things, but it's not like that at all. We're all very chatty with each other, and we all try and help each other make sales, which is absolutely brilliant. I think it was very sort of hard to make sales this year. There were a lot of sort of amateur artists coming through asking questions, which is always great, and then a lot of people don't realise that we're actually trying to make a living. Like, we need to sell these paintings to actually be able to afford our bills. Like, you get some people asking questions like, if they buy a piece, oh, what are you going to spend the money on? And it's like, my mortgage. And then they go, oh. Because I don't think they realise, I think they just think we're exhibiting for fun. Like, I think we're just showing off the work that we create, and any sales are a bonus. I don't think they realise that we actually need these sales to be able to buy food and pay for water. So it's interesting to see people's reactions to that. But thank you to everyone that came as well. There was a lot of people that came and said they recognised me from YouTube, which was really nice. So it's always nice to meet you, and I always say, if you see me out about, please do say hello. It's really nice talking to everyone. I think for the next few days, we're actually going to Anglesey to go and pick up Bella, because Bella's been with Amber's mum and dad. So I'm so excited to see her. I cannot wait to see her. I've missed her so much. And we've been getting like updates or pup dates pretty much every day, and it just makes me miss her so much. So I'm so excited to get going and pick her up and see her again. I hope she's not forgotten us or mad at us for leaving her. But, oh, I can't wait to get going. And I've got so many ideas for new paintings and mock-ups and things, and I've got a few commissions to do. But I'm not going to take anything with me when we go to Anglesey. And I'm just going to have a couple of days off with Amber, Bella, and her mum and dad, and just chill and relax and unwind and just try and forget about work for a bit. But then, when I get back, I'm going to come back stronger than ever, I think. I've got some really great ideas and some new techniques that I want to try. It was so inspiring over the weekend. And yeah, just make sure you're watching every video, because I really do think they're going to start to get so much better. Like my paintings that I'm going to create, I'm just so excited for. Gotta put all that aside, and I'm just going to go and spend a bit of time with Amber and my puppy. Hello. Hi. What's going on? What's going on? As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.